and welcome to this episode of Healing Now. Um, how this works for me is it comes through very quickly. This instinct or this impulse to come on and do a video. These are not planned out, they're not scripted. And the reason for that is, where I'm at my best in delivery is when I actually don't know what it is I'm about to share. However, I did get the download in the shower that I was to talk about aura. And then some of the information around the direction of what I was going to talk about came through. And it was all a bit of a surprise to me. I mean, I really understand what I know when I teach it or share it or offer it. And aura is very, very interesting. We all have an aura. There is even instrumentation that is able to measure this electromagnetic field that comes from the human being. And that's ultimately what the aura is. It's electromagnetic. And it's electromagnetic from a process that takes place through the information that comes that actually creates us. The information, as it breaks down into form, as the information becomes formation, so it goes from information to formation. And what I learned in biogeometry through the amazing Dr. Robert Gilbert, he was one of the teachers, and is that as the what they were calling scalar waves break down into form, as these waves become particles, there is an exhaustion that takes place and what we call an emission. We know that cars have an exhaust or smokestacks. They are exhausting the energy. They are giving emissions. And so the emission that comes up off of our field from the very center of our being, and science would say that this electromagnetic emission that comes from the body comes from the heart. Actually, in human design, we would say it comes from the G center. And the G center sits under the sternum in the place where our physical heart is. And so that would be the assumption in science, where they measure this frequency coming off the human being, this emission coming out from the human being can be measured. And so they know that it sort of comes from this point. And like I said, in human design, which kind of makes a lot of sense to me, comes from the G center, and that is the placement of the magnetic monopole. Notice the word mono, pole. It's not a it is the very force that holds the dualities in place. And so as information is coming in, there is the duality of that is these information going out, but in a different formation. So information comes in, becomes form, and then the emission from that form is again information. So it's coming out of form into the wave form, into wave other than particle. And this creates our aura. Now, the interesting thing about aura is that really it is the information that can be interfaced with. In fact, the aura is an interface in itself. It is interfacing and interfacing with other auras. And almost everything has an aura. I mean, it does. Anything that breaks down into form, which is what we see, the physical world, will have an aura, because as the scalar waves, or what we could say neutrinos, or this information field breaks down into information, as it breaks, that's a breaking down. Pure information is infinite. It's never not there. But it's always been exchanged in this matrix that we live in. I like to use the word neutrinos as Ra talks about, because neutrinos actually carry information. They have basically mass to them. So they are in themselves a form carrying information, but they're so tiny, so small, and there's trillions of them per square meter. And they're moving through us all the time. They are moving the information around. And as it breaks down in the body into what we call the body, then the emission from that is an electromagnetic information. It's different from neutrino information. It's a different form of information. And our aura is far more powerful than we know. There is instrumentation out there that can see the aura, that it corresponds to color, which is a frequency, and any frequency can correspond to any of the other senses, whether it be color or sound or touch. You have the aura carrying the very information of everything that's going on. Everything has an aura, everything that's form has the information, and the information coming out from the information that goes in. There's information that goes in, the information that comes out is basically the duality of that. But it still has, because it's coming from the magnetic monopole. And what I mean by duality, it's almost like a mirror of the information going in is mirrored out. But notice as you look in a mirror that everything is, in reverse. It's not to say that the information going out isn't true. It is just a different, it's a different medium, electromagnetic from neutrino. So neutrino first, and then what's coming out. So what goes in is neutrino, what goes out is electromagnetic. And in human design, there are 4 different types of aura. And I started my journey some 27 years ago. And so I was still what I had adhered to after I'd spent 13 years in the church. I mean, I knew about aura, but I sort of, you get indoctrinated and you try to avoid it. And so I tried to be a good Christian. But the 7-centered being and the aura is still, according to human design, it's a little bit outdated, or very outdated, because now we are 9-centered beings. We've gone through a mutation from 7. Previous, you go back millennia, and prior to that, we were 5-centered beings. Like, we are going through this constant evolution that is not just physical, it is energetic, it is quantum. It is far more than what we can conceive, because these bodies that we're in are very, very filtered down information. It's not the full information. It's just part. And that's what makes us all very unique as well. We're all part of the whole. Everyone, the thing that makes us all the same is the very fact that we are part of a whole, of the universe, the one soul. But we each individually as our differentiated selves that gives the color and spice and flavor to life. If we were just simply to go back into the whole, there would be, this experience would not be happening. This is only actually an experience. Experience means, we have the word like perspective, basically, and X, which is to exit. It's the perspective we have, this experience we have, is something that stands out from the totality. That we are part of the totality, and you, like a wave in the ocean, are standing out from the ocean. The ocean of information is all part of the one. This experience that we're having is a part experiencing the one. It's not the one experiencing the part, but although the one, the whole thing is experiencing you, and you're experiencing it. And that becomes a bit of a mindfuck, really. There is that toroidal nature of this existence that we're experiencing. as we travel through this life, there are many ways in which we interface with information. We have the body with its 5 senses. It's, you know, it's more gross than the aura. It is physical in its nature, but the aura also has its own intelligence, like the body has its own intelligence. And the aura, your aura, also has the information of your intelligence, your innate intelligence, the intelligence you don't know about, the unconscious intelligence. You know, we have the subconscious mind. The unconscious is literally the body. We're not conscious of ourselves breathing until we are, and then it becomes even more mechanical. And when we begin to understand that everything is mechanical, everything in the experience of this existence, which stands out from reality, reality being the whole, that everything in its mechanics interfaces with the mechanics of everything else. This locking together. Now, there's some things in, and we know in mechanics, that just don't fit. Trying to put a square peg in a round hole just doesn't work. Okay, that's mechanics. And our aura is the unseen mechanics of our physical mechanics. Our aura gives out information that is beyond words or action as we can see it. The aura is exchanging information constantly about who we are, what we're feeling, what is, you know, what's going on for us, even on a health level. All the information is going out from your aura, is in your aura. What's going on for you, who you are, who you truly are, but also who you're not, is all shared in the aura. And so the exchange can take place between other auras. As auras come into contact with each other, energy is exchanged, information is exchanged. It's another interface. So understanding your aura can be very, very helpful when coming to navigating life. You know, I'm a projector, so my aura is focused and absorbing. Now, those mechanics in itself are very different from open and enveloping, which is the generator aura. So a generator and a projector are going to have an interaction with life that is completely different. The generator aura, open and enveloping, you know, taking it all in. But, you know, think about the enveloping, actually not just taking it in, enveloping it. So the information that is in that particular person with that aura is enveloping those that are near it. It's an expanded aura. Whereas myself being a projector, and any other projector for that matter, the aura is very absorbing. Okay, so you can see that a projector in the aura of a generator is being enveloped by someone else's aura, literally submerged in this person's aura. And then the projector, their aura is also taking it in. They're being, as I say, you know, submerged in this aura, and then the projector takes that information into themselves, and it goes into their empty centers. Not empty, they're or empty or open or undefined centers. Takes all that information in. So projectors have to be very, very careful. You can do, you know, try and protect your aura. There are things you can do, energetic things you can do to protect your aura, protect your energies, you know, and that takes awareness and consciousness. And there are many, many different practices that have been around for a long time. But, you know, at the end of the day, in any situation, prevention is better than having to fix the situation. So for projectors to be mindful of who they are around, because you're going to take that auric information into your field. It will literally go into your body, so it soaks through the aura, and that information will then go down into the body. And so, if you're around the wrong people as a projector, all sorts of things can go wrong. You know, you can get really unwell. And so you need to be mindful of that. And all types can get really unwell. The manifestor has a closed and repelling aura. And so that doesn't mean that they're, that they're the person themselves, the human being is against others. It's just the mechanics of their aura. And it's to protect them, really, because a manifestor is a particular type of being and their aura is there to serve them. And so a manifestor is really, for the mechanics to be good, the aura needs to be, closed and repelling. And so people can feel like the manifestor is pushing them away at times, or is disinterested or aloof. And it's not really the case. It's they have a completely different functioning within themselves. And so when people understand the types of auras, the type of people, and how the auras interface, you can move away from taking things so personally and realize, they're a manifestor. Of course, it doesn't feel like I'm getting in there. Of course, it's not going to feel like they're understanding what I'm trying to get across, or that they can really feel me. That's just them. And it's not like the manifestor is thinking, oh, poor me, I can't, feel the aura. That they do feel the aura of others, but their aura is literally pushing it away. The manifestor doesn't pity themselves because of that. Having a closed and repelling aura, think about where that can be very, very helpful in life. Think about, for the projector, how having a focused and absorbing aura, that can be very, very helpful, but also it has its pros and cons. All of the auras do. Then we have the reflector aura, which is it's a sampling aura, but it's very it's not repelling, it's reflective. And so I've heard it said many times that the reflector's aura is like Teflon. And so if we were to, like normal, go around taking things personally all the time, and you come into the aura of someone that is a reflector, you can easily feel like they're not very social, or a bit rude, or again, like, what's wrong with this person? For someone who's like a generator coming in, who have this open and enveloping aura, and their aura is being like reflected off this reflector, it's not getting in there. And the information feedback for the generator can confuse the mind. The mind's a real problem. It can confuse them. They go, I don't know what it is about this person, but they're kind of, it feels like they're screwing with me a little bit. And that's the auric feedback and information in the field that's taking place for you. Understanding your aura can be so, so helpful. When, for myself, knowing my aura is absorbing and focused, it helps me understand I work best one-to-one with people. That's why this is good for me. I'm not dealing with anyone. If there's a group of people, that's going to be tricky for my aura, because it focuses, which means individual. I zone in on the individual. I once heard Ra say that, if you're a projector and you're in a room with 3 other people, you've already made 2 enemies, because the others will feel like, why is this guy, does he not see that I'm here? It's just the way the aura works. They won't feel the projector's aura, like they won't feel like there's a connection there while it's on someone else, and it won't be there, and the generator can kind of feel that. And so, but the generator that is receiving that focus, they love it. The generator loves the focused aura of the projector, because they really, really feel seen and understood, because that projector aura goes straight into the G center of the of the generator and is knowing that person on an energetic level. They are really knowing them, and that generator can feel that they're being known, truly known and understood, especially when the invitation, you see, the projector really needs to be, if they're going to plug into or penetrate a generator, or anyone for that matter, but it happens easier with generators. And the projectors are really here to guide the generator energy anyway. So the interaction between generator and projector, that can make for a beautiful relationship, oracally. And, formally and informally, all of that. The generator and projector, it makes sense, right? The generator is a generative energy that because they're open and enveloping. Of course, when you're open and enveloping, you want feedback, right? The aura is going out looking for feedback. Well, the projector is going to give direct feedback, and so oracally they work beautifully. They can have a lot of trouble though. Those auras can have a lot of problems on the flip side. We live in a binary, so of course that side of it is going to be there. The flip side being that, if you don't understand that your partner is a projector, you can turn them into a super slave. Think that they should be working all the time and they should be like you, and so you can easily get frustrated with them because you don't realize that their value, what they bring, their value they bring to the world, the projector, is the guidance. The mechanics, it's just the mechanics are there to guide, whereas the mechanics for the generator are there to generate, to create, to build, to make the ideas, to build the physical world, to bring everything into form, as far as what we bring on a human capacity. And so if the generator is not aware that they have a projector in their life, they will make the projector very unwell. And so again, this is not personal. This is a misunderstanding and not knowing the mechanics that are under the hood. And when you know the mechanics, how they work, how they function, you don't take things personally. You don't think, the generator doesn't think, go through this stupid mind game of, oh, my projector partner is just lazy. And then because they can become lazy, you keep knocking them down, they're going to feel, telling them how they should do things, where it's actually meant to be the other way around. The projector is there to guide the generator, but often this is where we turn into being the not self. When we're not functioning correctly through aura, that's the beginning of all of our troubles. That is the beginning of all of our troubles. When we are trying to use our aura, or we are trying to work our lives outside of our auric expression, our auric interface. Everything is energy first. Everything is information before it becomes formation. Everything. This is what's so important to understand, that the aura is information. It's not in form. The body is formation. And the information that comes to form us creates what we are. It is the blueprint. And then the expression, what is reflected out of that, it goes into form, and then another structure, a completely different geometry of information goes out. Like how neutrinos, how they work, is they carry information, but as they brush past something, as they move through the form world, they pick up a little bit of the information and take it with it. So they're transforming all the time. The field is constantly transforming. Again, there's the word form. Form is everything. Like the body, you can't, it's impossible to go against the body, really. We think we can overcome it with the mind, and we kind of do to a degree, but that's not being correct. The mind is not the authority. It's not the authority. And yet the reason that we use it's been insisted upon us that the mind is the authority, because you see, you can control the mind. You can control the mind. It's very difficult to control mechanics. And that's where things can go very, very wrong. Your body, your form, the way you are, how you've turned up in the three-dimensional reality, in the form existence, how you've turned up is very specific. It has very specific mechanics, and its aura works in a very specific way. And so, yeah, when I take people through human design, you just got to start with the aura. So it's because human design is so complex, you've got to start with simplicity and then build upon that. But you're always bringing the complexity back to simplicity, no matter what in human design. It's great to know well, it's invaluable to know the details. It can really take you far, but we don't need to rush ahead. I mean, even though I do, it's in my profile, it's in my makeup to really go deep into things and just have to know and find out what doesn't work and what does work and all of that. That's my type. And I accept that. That's the only reason I can do what I'm doing here is it's my type, it's my design, it's my profile. So I'm not so much affected anymore about the anxiety of doing it or what others think. It doesn't matter. I just need to be true to my design, and then life happens how it's meant to, and how it's meant to happen is with greater ease. It doesn't get rid of all the resistance in life. We do need a certain amount of resistance, and some people have a design leaning more to resistance than not. Like for me, having the 6-3 profile, I'm here to experience the resistance in its fullness. And in that learning comes my wisdom. But I have the mechanics to take it on and interface with that in a way that brings then, in which the information that comes out of me, whether it be by voice or through aura, is one that is correct and advantageous for humanity. Because I have the left angle cross, I am here to impact the other. I'm here for the other. I'm always, the way my design is, even I do think of myself. I have a mind and I've, my God, tortured myself with it. But it's always been about the other for me. And it's in my design. This is why this is so robust. Because for me, I look at it and if it doesn't have validity, I throw it in the bin. It's just, 6-3, the 3 profile, it's like, if it doesn't work, I throw it. QFT, I created that. I just blended together tapping EFT because it works. I mean, God, I used it so much and I was looking for where the holes were. And I created QFT out of EFT because EFT still had its limitations. And that's what I'm here to do, is find the limitation. And then, of course, can't help myself but to improve upon it. And that's where I brought in conversational hypnosis and a little bit of NLP, not much, but just there was a dash of NLP. And what came out of that was what we call QFT. That is just a part of how, when I see how I work, I'm always looking for where the faults are. And I have the channel of structuring. I'm always wanting to restructure constantly. And that's what I'm here to do. And as I function and live that way through both my body and my aura, which are, they are synonymous with each other, really, because they are pure mechanics. They are not mind. When I function through that, there is fulfillment for me in what I call success, because for the projector, the projector is always looking, their signature is success. They know they're being correct because success is there in their life. And for the generator, is satisfaction. Of course, the signature is going to be satisfaction because they are the great workers. They're the great builders of this world. The manifester needs peace. That's why they have the closed and repelling aura. Their signature is peace. A manifester at peace is a manifester that can really, really manifest. Really, really manifest. 9% of the population. And then that reflector, surprise. I mean, like just the way that they function in this world, they're just constantly taste testing life, just little samples of everything and then reflecting it back to the world not making a decision, really big decisions. If they've been correct, they're riding out the phase of the moon, 28 days before they make a big decision. But they are the ones that reflect back to us how we're doing, how we're going with this. They are the truth tellers, really, and not through their words, through their actual reflection, who they are, their through their aura. Their aura, again, comes back to aura, the reflectors. If you want to know how humanity's going, come into the aura. Not that you go into it, because you won't, but interface with the aura of a reflector, and you'll see how the matrix is going. You'll understand some depths and truths around what's actually going on in this world, in our reality, in our existence. So understanding your aura, you can see, for me, knowing how my aura works actually helps me govern how I do my life. I've got to withdraw all the time. If I have a lot of generators around me, I have to be very careful. I'm just going to get conditioned in the places where I'm open. And I feel it. The more I'm aware of this now, raising awareness, my gosh, I really, really feel it. We don't realize what we're doing sometimes, and what's keeping us the way we are, until we look at the way we function. I remember hearing a story about these housemaids that in a hotel. The ones, they told half of them the amount of calories that they're burning by flipping mattresses and making beds. Only half of them, they told in this experiment to these housemaids in this hotel. And those ones that were informed with that information, when they were conscious about that information and what was going on, they all lost weight. They all got fitter. They were told, you realize your job's really good for your health, flipping beds. And once they had awareness around that changed their actual physical reality, because they knew about it, but because they understood what was actually going on. There was almost an activation in the body. It's amazing, isn't it? And so that's why I bring that up, because I'm aware of how my aura works. How I interact with people is different than the way it was before. I know as soon as, if someone invites me, the invitation comes in, I'm going to get valuable information to be able to give to them, because I know my aura, I trust it. It goes straight into the G centers. And so I can trust what's going to come out, what I'm going to share with them. And, I've really practiced as well, honing my craft and my skill and my communication skills. I could never communicate like this in the past. I had to work on it, but I do have innately that ability to communicate in a way that people can generally sort of grasp. But I did need to work on that, because I'd been so programmed and conditioned to believe I was something that I knew I could share and teach and guide. But my conditioning said, no, you can't. The mind came in, no, stop being so arrogant. The amount of people I've offered human design to help them understand who they truly are. And often what I find is they're trying to push away a part of them that is actually truly them, because they're judging themselves about it, because of this, conditioning of the world. They've been conditioned, programmed to believe they're something, to believe they are the mind, and they're not. Once you realize you're not the mind, and you see the innate intelligence that's right in front of your face, and you follow that, life then aligns instantly. And then you go through a process of really, I say it aligns instantly, you're back on track. But now that you're on the track, now you're finally heading in your right direction. And that direction takes time to unfold. But first of all, get on the right track. If you're using the mind, you're not going to function in life. Your aura, you are making very redundant. The aura is a mechanic. The body is a mechanic. The mind is conceptual. It's not. It gathers information, but the mind is not there to inform. the mind in itself, if you look at it, the mind carries information that's gone in. And so it's expressing from the mind, and it's just what we're conscious of that's gone in. And we try and use that, to interface with life. But it's not, the mind is not coming from the body as such. It's a information field. It's not coming from the body. So it's not coming from the true mechanic. It's not coming from the essential expression of who you are. Your body is the interface with this realm, and it has an aura. It is the information. It is the knowledge that is beyond words. It is the knowing that is beyond words. It is the interfacing that is beyond words. Knowing your aura is so, so valuable. And so, it's not hard to find anything on find places on the internet where you can find out your human design, find out what your aura is, start there, just know what your aura is and learn about that. I mean, I coach people into how to use their aura. And that's what human design is for anyway. But to really be at one with their aura, because it is really you. It's the real you. Your aura and your body is the real you. The witness is the personality, the watcher. It's just there to watch. You can't control the body. You can, to a degree, but it's using the mind to control the body. It's very, very easy because the mind is not reliable. And that's the only reason. I mean, you can control the body with the mind, but it doesn't pan out well. Look into it for yourself. You know that. I mean, you can argue about it if you like, but look how often your mind throws you in the wrong direction. And yet, we have this other state that we call flow state. Well, that's a body thing. That's a physical thing. That's an auric thing. It's just happening because you see, when the mechanics are correct, when everything is tuned, when you're tuned into your aura, truly tuned into it. I mean, it's becoming far more. It's energetic. I'll say that. I want to say psychic because it again kind of brings in the idea of the mind. It's this energetic. It's this kind of akashic interaction. You're getting more information through the aura. You're getting a very diffused, filtered information simply through the mind because it carries too much other information. You're not getting essential information. The information that's essence is in the now moment, because we're always interfacing and interphasing with energy. This is the problem when we just go into any old woo about anything. If it doesn't have a practical application, it's just not for life. And spirit is not life. It's in the spirit is information. Life is this thing we're having an experience of, and in life, there's death. There's a duality. Life is a duality, and it is form. Life is form. Information is energy. Okay, so information is energy, and formation is the existence. Find out your aura. It's life-changing. Once you understand your aura, your particular aura, how it works, start there. You don't need to go anywhere else. Really understand the aura, and you're going to get so much more sensitive to to the truth, so much more sensitive to yourself, so much more sensitive to the other, as in not sensitive by upsetting you or causing you to be emotional, but sensitive as in actually interacting with truth, the real stuff. The aura is the ultimate interfacing. It is the information field. As long as you're doing things just on a surface level, when I say the intelligence of the body, I'm not trying to whim away spirituality. I'm not trying to throw at all. If anything, it's the other way. where you can be insistent on knowing that all is energy first, all is spirit before its form. But in this world, it is the form that has the authority. Where did the authority come from? Yes, it came from energy first, but once it turns into form, that's it. That's the mechanic. And once you follow the form principle, which is expressed through the aura, then your life is on track. When you use the mechanics of your vehicle correctly, of course, there's going to be far less resistance. And that's what understanding your aura is all about. It's about experiencing less resistance. Imagine that, less resistance in life. That's the only thing that causes us pain. When you live according to your design, there's far less pain. I can vouch for that. I've tried so many things, but my God, if anything's made me more relaxed, it's human design. It's understanding my aura. It's understanding my mechanics, my design and personality. It's about understanding my centers, channels, and gates. And what a journey it's been so far, but I've only just scraped the surface. Not even scraped the surface, I've just scratched it. And then it's just that scratching surface has been incredibly transformative. So I can see as I go through my processes, each year goes by, my goodness, truly going to know who I am more and more. Knowing yourself is a process. Life is a process. Everything is a process. Everything is a process. And when you do life and you process life in the moment, you're truly living. But whatever you don't process, whatever you put on the back burner, whatever you save for later and you don't return to, that just becomes accumulation of energy information you don't need in your field. You know, really, our metamorphosis is so much more understood and embraced and embodied when we are truly present in the moment. Find out your aura. And you really, truly are putting yourself on your golden path. You'll never feel like you want to be anyone else. And isn't that a beautiful thing? I couldn't even conceive. One thing that human design is this side effect, this effect that's had on me is I just don't judge myself anymore. But I have greater discernment and I don't judge others because they just are the way they are. It's all mechanics. And so behind the mechanics, I know is a soul is just like me. It's just having an experience. It's nothing personal. The movie, this experience is just incredible. It's beautiful. It's stunning. Doesn't mean it's easy. You know, I'm the first to admit that I can get pissed off and angry, but I don't react the same. You know, because I'm so much more informed, I respond with more empathy and love and connection and presence. And isn't that what we all want? It's a beautiful thing to know yourself, to truly know yourself. The awakening to knowing yourself and then realizing that you're now awake to a process, a new process, a true process of living, less fear, less trepidation, less judgment, a true celebration of life. Again, find out what your aura is. Contact me if you want to know. You want to be coached through this. Like I said, I'm no expert, but I'm not an expert in anything. I'm good at what I do, and I know that, and I only know that because that's the feedback I get. You know, you can have someone that knows human design that has known it for many, many, many more years than me. But it all is down to the delivery, just like the aura. If you're not in tune with it, if you're really not getting it, not feeling it fully, not in its full expression, then you're just not going to get it. For me, I keep everything simple, but I see the incredible transformation take place when people understand their aura and then begin to delve into the mechanics of their aura, of their type, of their centers, channels, and gates. It's a beautiful process. It's a continual process. It's moving away from peeling the onion to find out what's wrong. You know, we've been doing that for such a long time. Human design is about looking into what's right about you. And, you know, and then often what happens is you find your shadow. Your shadow is right where the magic is. And then you realize once you cast the light on it, it's not a shadow at all. It was your mind fucking with you. Reach out to me if you're interested in being coached through your human design. That's what I'm good at. I use QFT to help speed up the deconditioning process so you become more you at an accelerated rate. And also the bioenergetic reset, which corresponds to the human design well, where I balance your defined centers and clear your undefined centers of energy that is others, bringing you back into homeostasis, which helps you to heal and recover and rejuvenate in your own intelligent way, in your way. I can't heal you, but I can certainly speed up the process, help speed up the process that you're going through. Everyone, life is a process. We're all going through the process. And if you'd like to have that support, just reach out to me. And, you know, there's plenty of other videos for you to go through as well. If you want to, like I said, I'm no expert. I'm no guru. I am my designer role model. So, but, you know, be careful with role models. They've gone through a lot and they've made lots of mistakes. So if you're the type of person that wants to follow something, not follow someone, but get the advice from someone who's made lots of mistakes, you're going to learn what doesn't work really, really well. So, you know, the role model's one pointing out all the potholes you don't want to fall into. Very helpful. Yeah. Fifth line, a little bit more about what works. This works, this works, this way. Yeah, the signpost. So I hope that was helpful for you today. Find out your aura. Really, really get into things. Until then, let there be light.